Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be learning about fractions on a number line. This is something that we already learned before we went on our COVID-cation. And we remember that we start off with looking at the denominator. Remember, the denominator is the bottom number, okay? So here they wanted to know, where would 1/6 be on this line? And remember, we start with our 0. We end with our 1, and then the tick marks in between are those fraction lines, okay? So remember, once we start here, we do our first jump, and then that bottom number lets us know there needs to be 6 tick marks all the way up to 1, okay? So let's start. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tick marks here, okay? So they want to know, where would 1/6 be? So each of these tick marks is a 6th, correct? So we have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and remember that whole number is 6/6. Anytime we have the part over the whole and they're the same number, that gives us our whole number, or our number 1, okay? So here, I've already done this for us. We have 1/6 right here. So that was that very first tick mark. Let's move down to our next one. Number 2. So we're looking for 3/4, which means how many tick marks do we need to have here up to our whole? Look at that denominator. We need to have 4. So we're going to look. Remember, we don't start counting at 0. We don't start counting until our first tick mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to our 1. We have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 1 whole, or 4/4. So they wanted to know, where was 3/4. Well, if you look right here, we have our dot here on 3/4. Now this one we're going to do together, okay? So we're going to take a look at 7/8, and we'll do a couple more examples too. I'll draw some more lines and we'll do a couple more examples, and you guys will also have a worksheet to do, and I'll include the answer key to that as well. So here we have 7/8. So how many tick marks did we need to put in between our 0 and our 1? That's right, we needed to put 8. So remember, we don't start counting at our tick mark 0. We start at the very next one. So we drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tick marks, okay? Now we need to label these tick marks. So we have 8, which means we have 1 out of 8. 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. We're going to be doing another lesson soon. Just want to talk about this really quick. 4/8, we're going to be talking about double facts and how 4 is the double fact of 8, correct? Which would make this actually be 1/2. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit more when we start getting into reducing fractions, okay? I just wanted to add that in there really quick. So now, where would 7/8 be? We have to look here, put our dot. There's 7/8 on that number line, okay? So let's do another one. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to let you guys do this one out. So get some paper. You can pause it here if you need to, or just take the time while I'm drawing the new line to get yourself some paper, okay? Okay, so we're going to start there. Make sure our very first tick is 0. Our very last tick is 1, or our whole, okay? And the number that we're going to be looking for, let's say, this is number 4, I think. It's our 4th problem. So let's look for 5/6, okay? 5/6, which means how many tick marks are we going to have from 0 to 1? What number do we look at? That's right, our denominator. So look at your denominator. That tells us how many tick marks we're going to have up to 1, okay? Including that 1. So we start 0, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that 1 would be our 6, correct? And if you want to put a red right there to kind of make sure that you count that, you can do that as well. Now let's label these. Each one of these, the denominator is going to be what? That's right, a sixth. So we have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and 1 or 6 out of 6. So now where would 5/6 be at on that line? That's right. We put our dot right there. Can we do one more? All right. I'll redraw this line for you guys so you can have a fresh line to look at. Remember, start with our 0 and we end with our, what do we end with? That's right, a 1. So we end with our whole number. So we start with our 0, end with our whole number. Let's do 4/10, okay? Which means from 0 to 1, how many tick marks are we going to have? Look at that denominator. We're going to have 10, including this. So this would be number 10, right? So they're going to have to be a little bit smaller. So we're going to start here. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then that would be 10. And again, if you want to put that mark right there, you can do that as well for 10. So now we're looking for 4/10. What's the next thing that we need to do? That's right, we need to label these. So we're going to look at 0 and we're going to have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. There's that double fact, so that will be what? 1/2, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and 10/10. I didn't think I was going to have enough room to write that in there. Okay, so now the number that we're looking for, the fraction that we're looking for is 4/10 or 4/10. We're going to put our dot right there. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it didn't, please rewatch the video until you're comfortable with this method. Okay, and then there's also going to be another video link at the bottom for you guys to watch a fun video to include fractions on a number line. And then there's going to be a link to worksheets for you guys to do with this tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll probably move on to another lesson. If there's any questions about this, please comment underneath the video or comment on Dojo and ask me any questions that you need to ask me, okay? I hope that this was a good lesson for you guys. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.